Ever wonder who would win when nature's heavyweights go head-to-head? These battles do happen in the wild, but we rarely witness them. So, to see who's the ultimate champion, to understand their true power, and appreciate their skills, we stage our own battles in a virtual arena. As our animals take shape, experts compare their strengths and weaknesses. With specially built biomechanical machines, we test their might. Finally, our virtual contenders come face to face for the ultimate showdown is about to go head to head in Animal Face-Off. An international team of experts assembles at our test lab. Their mission? Strip the big cats down to basics, then rebuild them as biomechanical robots.
So we're going to take this puppy, cast it in alloy, put it on a machine, and introduce some RAMs, and get it happening. Like, this is out there, eh? This will be good.
They'll use data from the biomechanical beasts to build 2 virtual contenders that will fight to the finish.
Basically, what a tiger's going to do, they're going to come at you really, really low, shoulders down, rear up. The claws are going to hurt you, but the bite's going to kill you.
Dave Salmoni is a big cat expert. His latest project, an unprecedented attempt to teach captive tigers to hunt. No one has gotten closer to tigers and lived. But not even Dave has been able to measure the power of their paws and jaws.
Big male lion would probably use its big paws to cuff, and then maybe those giant claws to grab their rival and pull them closer.
Sam Stevens is a zoologist and an expert on lions. Like Dave, she has nerves of steel.
What we're going to do today is
her work takes her way out of the comfort zone with these unpredictable predators. So, in a face-off, which cat would win, the lion or the tiger?
The tiger, when he's coming to kill you. And I think your lion's going to figure that out in a heartbeat.
You are dreaming.
I think after this one, you're going to find there's a new king of the jungle.
No, my friend. King of the savannah is the lion and always will be.
If this animal is trying to bite, right, he's going to bring both sets of muscles on both sides of the jaw to bear.
Professor Frank Mendel teaches anatomy to medical students. He'll ensure the team's creations are as accurate as possible.
And all the forces you guys have been talking about here, all that surface area right here, that's where the muscle that we're talking about attaches right on this lever arm.
Based at the State University of New York at Buffalo, Frank is an authority on head and neck movement and big cat anatomy. For him, the project is a researcher's dream come true.
In looking at tigers and lions, we should learn a great deal about the kinds of jaw motions, forces that they can produce. That should be very helpful for our project.
Frank's first pointer to the team: lion and tiger skulls are almost identical.
So what we're looking at here is virtually the same cat, a lion and tiger, anatomically.
Building 2 nearly identical machines will be easier on the design team. But guessing which of our 2 virtual animals will win will be harder. The designers and engineers must reproduce the awesome power of a tiger in a machine, one that can survive a series of punishing tests and generate accurate data. Combined with information from the animal experts, the data from these tests will be used by 3D animators to build a virtual tiger, and later, a virtual lion. Chris Wheatley works from a real tiger skull, which he scales up to the largest recorded size. Modelers transfer Chris's pattern onto a block of polystyrene, which they can shape into a skull with moving jaws. They carve the big canines separately and fix them in position with wax. Next decision, what metal to use for the skull.
I think my first question would be which medium we're going to build this skull from. We're going to basically build it out of something that's going to mirror as close as possible, mirror the physical attributes of the actual skull and the animal. And also it's going to be something that we can machine easily, something that's manageable, not too heavy, cast in, say, aluminium, I think that would be strong enough.
The polystyrene skull is about to be reborn in metal. The special mix of foundry sand and resin clings to the model, filling every crevice. Justin's metal of choice is aluminum. It's strong, light, and a good stand-in for bone. Aluminum melts at 1220 degrees, hot enough to vaporize the polystyrene and take its place inside the block of sand. Cool the whole thing off, and presto, a perfect aluminum tiger skull. A brief dental exam, and the jaws are almost ready for action. The tiger hunts from the shadows, camouflaged by its stripes until it's in range. Tigers dispatch smaller prey with a bite to the back of the neck, crushing the spinal cord. Result, instant death. The lab team will model this attack, but first, they must reproduce the tiger's powerful bite.
Oh, well, we're going to have to, I suppose, work out where it's hinged, hey? And try and duplicate its muscle movement, I suppose. Get some hydraulic rams happening and...
You'd use hydraulics?
Yeah, well, it's going to give you the power, but not the speed that air would, but air's not going to give you the grunt, is it?
Justin, you've got a Hoover we could use.
The beast will also have to imitate the complex head movements of a real tiger.
See, that's where this is going to save our day. Yeah. But it might be about that angle, though.
Mike's solution, mount the head on a gimbal joint powered by hydraulic pistons.
Now, see, that might not be enough movement. Where's open?
It is.
Yeah, found it. Who measured these rams?
Those hydraulics will soak up a lot of power, but Mike's confident his turbocharged diesel will deliver all the grunt he needs. They'll use hundreds of feet of high-pressure hose and tough industrial rams to replicate the jaw power of the tiger. The body of the beast, a tractor completely rebuilt for its new role as RV3, a remotely operated vehicle. joins body, and a terrifying biting machine is born. Time to unleash the tiger. It's crunch time. The tiger looks the part, but can it bite like a big cat? Only one way to find out. Test it on something that simulates animal tissue.
All right, Larry, this is the part I've been waiting for. Can we start smashing some stuff here?
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Let's get this watermelon in there. Here we go.
A watermelon is about the same size as a typical prey's head.
You let it go?
3, 2, 1, smash!
No problem so far.
Come on, eat it.
Now that we're smashing stuff, I think this pumpkin's gonna give a go. This thing's a little more solid than the watermelon.
A pumpkin is more like an animal's flesh.
Okay.
Come on, smash it.
3, 2, 1, smash!
It's quite solid.
What do you think we try a coconut in this thing? All right.
You want to put it on the back teeth?
Yep. Like the skull of some small animal here.
Oh.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Oh.
The tiger survives its test run. Now for some serious science. The team needs accurate data as their virtual tiger shapes up for the animal face-off. It will face a fearsome opponent.
The tiger's going to sit back, wait for your little lion to rush in. You know, they're always a little bit too aggressive. And you can spin him around with one swat and bite him right in the spine.
That's right. The tiger will sit back and then get backwards, 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 right back into the jungle, because that's what tigers do. They're built for stealth. Their behavior is avoiding conflict. And lions just spend years developing themselves for having a fight. And that's what we're going to see soon.
The mechanical tiger thrived on a vegetarian diet, but the metal beast and its virtual clone are about to turn carnivore. We've taken the two biggest cats out of the wild so we can test their powers in the safety of the lab. Our mechanical tiger made mincemeat of the test items. The hydraulics driving those metal jaws deliver far more power than a real tiger can. For accuracy, the lab crew needs to tone down the strength of their machine.
How are we going to measure it, right?
Scott Woodward is a measurement specialist at the State University of New York at Buffalo. He'll calibrate the jaws. Then he'll analyze the data they produce using high-tech motion. He'll calibrate the jaws. Then he'll analyze the data they produce using high-tech motion capture software.
We're going to have to measure the load that this jaw is pushing on whatever is in its grasp.
It's impossible to measure a real tiger's bite force in the wild, but scientists have developed a statistical formula that can give us a ballpark figure. For both the tiger and the lion, it's 1,000 pounds.
We want this real. We want this to work.
Does it differ from here to there? Like, is it different forces?
Well, of course.
Should have known that. Of course I knew that. I was just testing.
Scott will ensure the mechanical tiger's jaws are set to the maximum estimated bite force of 1,000 pounds.
Most force is going to be delivered here between these teeth, so we want to get that block, that measurement device, as far back in the jaw as we can. It's close to the joint. That's what these are designed for. They break bones. This is where the real pressure is. We don't want it out front. We want it as close to these molars.
So we want it back here.
A pressure sensor called a load cell will give Scott an exact reading of the force applied.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Back in here.
But put it in the center.
Okay. Not going in. All right. That's really low pressure.
We're in. Great. All right, let's see what you'll do.
While Scott monitors the force, Mike slowly winds up the hydraulics.
Wow. 200 pounds of pressure.
Those teeth are really going into the wood.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, look at it.
330.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Go up slow.
Oh, the wood's giving away now.
Yeah, 600 pounds almost. 570.
Go on, go a bit more.
Let's get close. Okay. What's your meter saying now, Scott?
600.
It's still holding.
751. 955.
The wood's going.
Yeah. 926. All right, here it goes. It's cracking. Whoa! 1,099.
Clean break.
Whoa!
Well, we now know what it takes to kill some wood.
Yeah.
Or bite through bone.
Oh, look, it's coming out.
The pressure spiked at nearly 1,100 pounds, but the Tiger machine is tuned to bite just like the real thing. Now to gather some data.
Tiger's gonna, if he's coming from behind, if the thing's running away from him, he's gonna come up, grab the rump. An animal this size, I think a male tiger is just gonna bite him on the back of the neck. Do the same thing where he's gonna come down. We use his chest here and then boom.
Dave Salmoni knows firsthand how tigers kill. He taught 2 former zoo tigers how to catch their own prey. We're using surrogate prey from a meat processing plant.
When I usually come to a kill, a tiger, like when my tigers have killed, I usually find the teeth marks are generally just about there. So that's how deep the canines will go in, and they usually puncture quite a bit. Like I can usually stick my baby finger in a canine hole and get up to my last knuckle, so it's a pretty serious bite.
The motion capture system records every detail of the technique.
Yeah, that's plenty.
All right, there we go.
Okay. Legs up.
Well, there's a puncture wound here. Oh, yeah? Yeah, here, they're in, but they're not in as deep as what you think. Oh. Yeah, no, they must be. Basically, I would say the hole is that deep, so that's exactly what we were looking for.
For the first time, Professor Frank Mendel can study the anatomy of a tiger bite close up. Surface damage is minimal. Beneath the skin, it's a different story.
There's a big hole and there's moving parts, so it actually broke pieces of vertebral column off.
Right.
So
you're actually touching the spine?
yeah, I'm right on the spine, so clearly this animal broke its neck. This is probably one of the lower bites.
So basically lost everything from there down?
Everything there, yeah, and my bet is the animal was dead very quickly thereafter.
If it had been alive, the tiger's bite force of 1,000 pounds would have been more than enough to break the neck of our surrogate prey. Result, instant death or paralysis. But what about this animal, the lion? Could the tiger sink its teeth into the back of the lion's neck, or would the lion's mane protect it? Only mature males have this thick band of fur. It makes them look bigger and more aggressive. That helps to attract females and frighten off rivals. So, that fur collar is mainly for show, vulnerable neck safely hidden from the tiger. The tiger has has its own advantage. On average, it's 40 pounds heavier than the lion, and more muscle equals more power. Time to build a lion and test it. We've seen the stealth and power of the tiger, a fearsome predator that will prove a worthy foe in our virtual showdown. Gnats are similar, but the way they behave is determined by one big difference: turf. Tigers live in dense jungle and hunt from cover. Lions spend their lives in open grassland. These environments shape their social behavior. Tigers are shy, solitary beasts that defend a large territory against intruders. They tolerate each other only when mating. Lions are social animals, living in prides of up to 30. Females do most of the hunting, while males fight to protect the pride. But when the pride finds something big, they all join the hunt. And result, lions may have more fighting experience, a vital factor in the battle ahead. As anatomist Dr. Frank Mendel has pointed out, when skin and muscle are stripped away, the skulls of the big cats look alike.
You can't tell the difference between a lion and tiger except for a very few small details of sutures. So what we're looking at here is virtually the same cat, a lion and tiger, anatomically.
Which makes things a lot easier for the design team. Designer Chris Wheatley sketches out his plan for a mechanical lion. The modeling team sculpts a polystyrene copy of the real thing. At the foundry, the smelting team performs their 1200-degree conjuring trick, replacing the polystyrene with liquid aluminum. Another metal monster is born. This time, an accurate lion skull made from light, tough metal. Now, to bring it to life. Expert Sam Stevens has seen the power and aggression of lions close up. Now she can help the engineers reproduce that ferocity in their biomechanical creation.
How about the lion's bite?
Gonna get that mouth nice and wide. Open up those jaws and try and get a really good bite maybe on the front of the throat, get those canines sunk nice and deep into the flesh and get a really good grip there. And then you can bring those really powerful jaws down and crush the esophagus or the trachea. They've got huge muscle mass associated with the jaw closing especially, so huge amounts of pressure being brought to bear.
Like tigers, lions can inflict a bite to the back of the neck to kill prey instantly. But some meals aren't so easily caught. With its vicious horns and hooves, a buffalo can turn its attacker into a victim. To tackle large prey, lions prefer another lethal tactic, the throat bite. It looks like the lion is going for the jugular, but it can kill without spilling a drop of blood. Instead of a single bite that crushes the spine, the lion clamps its jaws on the windpipe and won't let go until the prey chokes to death. The lab team will model this technique.
See, that's where this is going to save our day.
Modeler Justin Buckingham and engineer Mike Latham will use their hydraulic rams and powerful diesel engine to breathe life into the lion's skull. The head mechanism will ride on the same vehicle as the Tiger head, the tricked-out tractor called RV3. Time to let the lion roar. It's another scary biting machine. But how will it measure up when it encounters our surrogate prey from the meat processing plant?
Okay, one of the things we have to do here is in grabbing the airway, which is palpable right here. It's easily gotten to, and if we overdo this, same kind of power we applied on the back of the neck, we'll go right through the throat.
What they're trying to do is get in under there, get the pressure on the trachea, pressure on the carotid arteries, and then just cut off that blood supply to the brain.
Whoa!
Lions have an uncanny ability to find the windpipe and slowly clamp it shut. So this test will measure precision rather than raw power.
Okay. When we do the bite, we're only going to want to move it another, I would say, an inch. Okay, you can close down.
The tiger bite test began with maximum power. This time, the team takes a different approach.
Keep coming. Keep coming.
They slowly increase jaw pressure until they can feel the windpipe is closed.
That's got it just like we want it. It's actually perfect. Yeah, I think you got it perfect there. If you see over here, Frank, it's biting, it's holding. Feel here. That's close.
Yeah.
Incredibly, the jaws needed almost no power to clamp the windpipe shut. Dr. Frank Mendel is about to get a big surprise.
Well, I've dissected this a bit. I'm taking the skin off the neck, and now we can see the vertebral column back here, and then you can clearly see that separated from the airway. Here's what's equivalent to our Adam's apple right here. So now we want
What are you talking about right here?
Yeah. There's a little cartilage just below that, and we have a big puncture wound right here. Yet another puncture just a little bit further down. We've punctured the airway twice. So, in itself, probably not lethal. If you take the tooth out, then this animal could presumably breathe through these holes. What's interesting to me, at least, is that the tracheal rings still have lots of pop in them, so we didn't crush them so badly that they couldn't pop back.
Right.
So that's probably why the animal must stay on the neck for a while, simply because the trachea will, in fact, spring back and could breathe there. So want to hang on to that neck long enough to suffocate the animal. Yeah.
Frank assumed the lion's throat bite was all about power. But the lab results force him to rethink his theories about how the big cats kill.
It took almost nothing, seemingly, to strangle a deer. The neck is a whole lot more vulnerable than I ever thought it was. Big cat doesn't have to use anywhere near the force that it can generate to strangle a big prey item.
This revelation casts our face-off in a new light. Tigers are bigger and stronger than lions, but size may count for nothing. Whichever cat can get a bite on the other's throat will need only a fraction of its jaw power to strangle its opponent. Whichever cat can get a bite on the other's throat will need only a fraction of its jaw power to strangle its opponent. Both the lion and the tiger have lethal dental work. But what about their other weapons? Those razor-sharp hooks set in massive paws. It's that fearsome paw and claw combination that makes these cats such deadly predators. But which one's deadlier? And will these weapons decide the outcome?
I look nasty.
Yes.
Who's the king of the carnivores, the lion or the tiger? We've taken these animals out of the wild and deconstructed them in the lab. Now we're rebuilding them as virtual contenders. We've seen the tiger use its lethal neck bite that crushes the spinal column and kills almost instantly. And we've uncovered the secrets of the throat bite both cats use, a slow, suffocating grip. We've analyzed the damage their jaws can do. Now let's test their other weapons, their claws.
Well, both of these animals, tigers and lions, are heavily built up front. Big arms, big forearms, and huge hands. And so these animals, if they're going to smack one another, they're going to bring a lot of power to bear. The same muscles that we have, but bigger. So,
bigger than a linebacker.
Almost. Almost.
No use having a mouthful of teeth if you can't catch anything to sink them into. Luckily for both lions and tigers, nature has given them some of the most dangerous cutlery on the planet. A full set of 3-inch claws set in massive paws, like boxing gloves tipped with razors. The claws can be retracted for harmless sparring or fully extended to grab a meal. Lions can hit 35 miles per hour in just 4 seconds, but there's a catch. Their prey is even faster. Since lions run out of steam after a few hundred feet, they have just seconds to catch dinner before it gets away. Tigers lack stamina too, so those claws are vital for catching and subduing prey. Next challenge for the lab team, build a biomechanical paw and test it. Compared with this new challenge, the bite tests were easy, a simple up and down movement. But to replicate a paw swipe requires a lot more work. Scott analyzes footage of big cats, frame by frame, to measure the velocity of a real paw swipe. And these cats pack a wallop. Scott discovers the paws of both big cats move at 18 feet per second, a speed the team must reproduce in the lab.
Okay, so we've got this lion arm, all anatomically correct. Really nice looking claws here. So what would happen is it'd have their paw nice and wide, have those claws out and extended, and he's going to strike with all the power that he can from his back and his shoulder and give a really good strike. There'll be some sort of dragging motion as the claws hold in. What do you reckon?
I think that's right. The only thing I would suggest is that we pull the wrist into this position so it's more or less straight from the forearm and arm.
So almost like a straight arm movement.
Yeah, it's going to come this way. The only thing that's different from what we see in a real cat, it doesn't have the thumb or the dew claw here, but we do have the 4 main digits, so that's going to be where the rip comes from anyhow. So once this set, it's going to hook very deeply and go that way.
Scott will ensure the mechanical arm moves at a realistic speed. He'll closely monitor the tests using cameras and motion tracking software.
Okay, go.
The lion's paw swipe will be tested on surrogate prey from a meat processing plant.
All right, here we go with the strike. You ready? Okay, here we go. And 3, 2, 1, strike.
The lion's claws inflict serious damage.
So we've gone right down through all the muscle layers here. And I can touch bone. There's bone right there.
Yep. Gone right through the muscle, and we only got probably 1, maybe 2 claws that did that.
Yep.
I've seen scars like that on zebra before, walking hounds, where it looks like, you know, the lion actually grabbed it back end. Zebra must have kicked him off or something and kept on going.
We've seen what the lion can do, but what about the tiger? A lone hunter, the tiger relies on shock and paw, a sudden, devastating attack. Built for lightning bursts of speed, it has the same design problem as the lion. After just a few seconds, it's running on empty. Tigers have the same retractable claws as lions and use them the same way. To hook onto their prey, then bring it down with brute force. The tiger is 40 pounds heavier than the lion, with stronger forearms, strong enough to kill with a single swipe. So the impact on our surrogate prey should be greater. Will the tiger make its weight advantage count as the team returns to the lab for the final test?
Let's do a tiger strike.
All right, sounds good. See if we can do any more damage than that lion.
The hydraulic power is increased 10% to allow for the tiger's greater size and strength.
Basically, you have the same thing. You know, the animal's going to be coming up from behind this deer. The tiger's just going to be lunging like this, trying to sink those canines in. Basically, these things are just like anchors to get those teeth in there so he can shift his way up, get that suffocation bite or the neck bite on. I figure we give this a go and see what we can do. You guys ready for this?
Okay. It does like it did the last one. Okay. Scott, we ready? Okay. All right, here we go. Mike, you okay? Good to go. All right. 3, 2, 1, strike.
Oh, basically just like a tiger would, boom. Hit on the rump, slid down. The more pressure against those claws, the deeper they went in. Basically at the end of the swat, I mean, it actually went right into the bone. I was hoping this was going to be my big winning point on this fight, but I don't see much difference in the lion and the tiger swat. But then again, I still think that your lion's pretty face may look similar to the rump of this animal. Not much in that one.
We're at a stalemate. Once again, down to behaviour.
We've seen how the lion cooperates with its tribe to bring down large prey, while the tiger hunts alone. As a result, the tiger needn't share its kill or hunt as often. But there's a downside. If badly injured, the tiger can't hunt at all and starves to death. An injured lion can survive by scavenging from the rest of the pack. This difference could determine who wins the face-off. Scott's analysis of the paw strike test confirms the mechanical claws hit their target with exactly the same speed as a real big cat. Though a tiger hits with slightly more power, both cats can seriously damage anything they get their claws on. Another batch of data is added, and our virtual contenders shape up for their face-off. After 3 series of tests in the lab, the lion and tiger are still neck and neck. So what will be the deciding factor? Our experts suspect it could all come down to behavior.
Everybody knows, you know, lions, they just get into little rumbles now and again, but when a tiger comes for you, he's coming to kill you. And that's what the lion's going to see.
A male lion spends 4 years of his life just developing himself into a fighting machine. That's his whole focus. Fighting, taking over a pride, defending that pride.
So for those first 4 years, he's a wimp. Is that what you're saying? No. First 4 years, he's running around scared. Is that what's happening?
He's not scared, mate. He's just developing himself.
The lion is a fearless brawler. The tiger, a stealthy killer. Both are armed with crushing teeth and deadly claws. So who's top cat? With the computer modeling complete, our virtual rivals are ready to fight. The tiger is a solitary hunter that uses camouflage and stealth to stalk its prey. It prefers the instant kill, a single bite to the back of the neck that crushes the spinal cord. Lions are born to fight. They live in groups led by dominant males who defend their status against all challengers. They too can kill with a bite to the neck, but because they tend to hunt larger prey, they've mastered the art of slow strangulation. Both cats use their claws to bring down their prey. The 2 contenders are evenly matched with common weaknesses. Both are short on stamina, speedy only in brief bursts. Whoever can keep some gas in the tank could take the fight. The lion is smaller and weaker than the tiger, but it's more aggressive and more experienced at fighting. It'll be a close contest.
Well, We've now done all the tests. There's not much between the two of them. I still figure tiger's going to kill you, but why don't you have a look?
Well, maybe you should. This is where you're going to start crying after all.
No,
you
you're
might
right.
as well have one more positive experience.
Maybe we'll watch the tiger eat your lion here.
Or maybe not.
Well, lucky for you, this will be your last chance to be confident, because as soon as I press this button, we're going to see who wins this fight, and the tiger's about to rip. Well, actually, I'll be surprised if it takes me longer to press the button than it does for the tiger to kill your lion.
This is the last time you're going to be a happy man on this program.
Well, then, can I press the button?
You press the button. Let's go.
All right, let's do this. Terrible. That tiger should have won that fight.
That was exactly as expected.